Hey YouTube, hey Dilly doing this, Would you here, coming at you with some more strategy games with Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. And I'm giving you this little separate replay gameplay here for you of the Indians versus a French rush. So I have been trying to play the Indians, and that'll be in a separate video where I sort of do my learning to play series that I've started. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. I know there's been a bit of traction on my China video, so I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. All of your tips are really awesome and welcomed. Thank you. So without further ado, let's get straight into this replay here. Let's go. So this is on my viewer perspective, so all of the moving around is obviously within the game when I was doing it. If there are some frame drops from 60 FPS, I do apologise. I think it's mainly to do with the game at the moment and its optimization, but I'm hoping that you will enjoy this nonetheless. I've never played on this map before, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. Look at the great colours of like the bushes there, the flowers and the really vibrant greens. I actually quite like this map. I think it's Korea. This one's on Korea, yeah. So we're against Colin Massey here, and he's the French. And this is me trying out the Indians. And as you can see, I'm using my explorers here just to gather up the treasures surrounding the town centre. And with India, villagers cost wood instead of food. So you need to kind of prioritise your wood income here. You can see I'm putting a house down here just to cover myself for any sort of pup caps. And I think I've just recently reassigned a hotkey to be able to garrison and ungarrison units, because there's a little trick that you can do with villagers that you can send them to a building and then put them outside the other building, and it means that you can actually move villagers a lot faster. It's a bit more of a experienced player does that. I still haven't really got to grips with it, but yeah. So I think this is probably my third or fourth game in now, playing as India against actual people on a 1v1 rank ladder. So there are going to be some mistakes and things like that. So I'm sure if there's any advice, please do let me know down below in the comments and show your support, just like you have done on the China video that I did. I would really appreciate it. So let's do this. Okay, so I've got my first home city there. Home city point. So I'm going to spend it on the wood here. This is called distributivism. I can never say this. It's distributivism. Distributivism. There you go. Distributivism. Nice and easy. So essentially you get like a little small wood trickle. 1.25 to the wood trickle rate. So essentially just extra wood that's coming in. Which essentially means that you don't have to have as many people on wood as you progress through the game, because there are cards that do more throughout as you go through the ages. You get more powerful ones, which means that, you know, at some point you only really need to have between 6 to 8 villagers, I think, on wood to effectively get your villagers out at a normal rate. So just bear that in mind if you are playing India. And by the way, you're probably thinking, how do you know all these things and how do you know what you're doing? I do like to do a bit of research before I decide to jump into some games. I also do a couple of games with the AI as well, so just bear that in mind. But this game is not going to be on my next video. My next video is going to be live, so it'll be me live playing it, so it won't be like a sort of a replay run through like this is. So anywho, so we need 800 food to get up into the next stage. You should, on around 600 food, you should start to move out to build your building to progress into the next age. So with India, you have to build a building to be able to get into the next stage. There's some downsides and upsides with that. Upside is you can keep getting villies out, so that's good. Downside is, for me, it tends to take a little bit longer, but that's probably because I'm still inexperienced. I feel like I was a little bit late here. I should have already put my building down. And the one that I chose is called the Agra Fort. And it's like a sort of like a castle that acts as like your barracks as well, because you can get units out of it. You can build a separate building, a separate barracks, but it's good if you sort of want to try like a rush build, essentially. You can see his scout here just keeps attacking me, but the scouts do like barely any damage, like 1 hit point of damage or something stupid. So I wasn't really bothered there. So I used my explorers just to find out what's going on in their base. Now, if I just pause quickly and I take the free lock off. Now, at this point, as I was exploring, I should have thought to myself, where are the barracks buildings? Because, you know, we're getting on into 4 minutes. I don't know whether he has... Actually, no, sorry, ignore me. He hasn't got to the second age yet. Ignore me. I'm talking rubbish. We'll wait till he gets into the second age. So he is ahead of me points now. But I believe you'll see that he actually gets into the next stage before me, which I was quite surprised at, because this sort of build that I'm doing, it's called like a basic guide or build for India if you're new. It's called, I think the person that I was reading about on a forum called it the Agrifort Contain, I think. So you use your fort to essentially dominate the map. So you can see our opponent's now got into the commerce age, the second age there. So we are a bit behind. You can see we've only just passed halfway. So that gets me a little nervous, because he's got into the age before 5 minutes, which is quite quick. Just judging on experience of previous games, before 5 minutes for me is quite quick. So I should have seen this as like a warning sign that I should be expecting something. But I don't think I did. I just tried to get my fort up as quickly as possible. You can see here, we're slowly getting the fort up. And essentially, this is called, an aggregate fort contained strategy, which basically means you sort of rush to get your fort out. Once your fort's out, then you can then switch. Essentially, you can switch your villies more onto food and gold than wood. And as you can see, I've done that. So I've done that, and I start to train Gurkhas, I believe. Now, the reason I train Gurkhas is I'm thinking to myself, right, these guys are the French. So, and their villagers are quite powerful. That's the benefit about the French. They have stronger villagers that also have an enhanced gather rate, I believe. So I thought, well, the best thing to go maybe is a unit type that's good against skirmishers. And you can see I originally went for the Sepoy, but I switched out and decided to go for the Gurkhas. Here. So the Gurkhas essentially, like, they're good at infantry pretty much. They're sort of like your arching unit. They're good at infantry, so. And you can see here that looking at my villager rate here, I've kept 7 on wood, which, as I mentioned, is probably a good number to put. Got quite a decent amount on food here to try and get these Gurkhas out. And something that I struggled with, which you'll see very soon, is I kept getting pop capped. So if you are playing India, just please make sure that you put in houses down, because I think they only count for 5 population, or maybe it's 10, maybe 10 population, but that can easily be gone like that. Like, you know, a group of troops is 5, and then your villies are always coming out. So before you know it, you'll need to put more houses down. So you can see here, everything's going swimmingly. I'm getting my troops, they're coming out. I've put a market down to provide some upgrades for the resource collection rates for my villies. And now I'm deciding I'm going to advance. And this is where I get a little bit concerned, because I move up and I think to myself, well, I should have thought to myself, I don't think I did at the time. I should have thought to myself, where's the barracks? Where are the units? Why is there no units coming to attack me? He's rushed into an age. So he's rushed into age 2, way before me, before 5 minutes, which is quite quick, especially at the rating that I'm playing at. I'm thinking to myself, well, where is his units? Why aren't they coming out to attack me? And this is where I find out. There you go. So here we go. We've got a bit of a challenge here. We've got a lot of musketeers coming in, and they're not gonna wait around. And this is a significant amount, and I start to get very worried here, because they are sieging my town centre, and they're not bad at sieging as well. As you can see, the town centre is going down quite a bit. I am going to take off the view here. So I'm taking off the view so we can just see here. So you can see that they're doing a significant amount of damage. And I'm thinking to myself, it's pretty much over here, to be honest, because I've only got a group of 11 troops. And I don't know how many musks he's got, but it's more than 11. But I'm starting to get a little bit confident here because these guys do counter heavy infantry. If you go to ranged attack, you can see they do double damage to infantry. And musketeers only they don't do actually any bonus to anybody, they just do a straight 23 damage. But you can see here, we're doing quite good there, and I start to repair my town centre. That's another good thing about this game. You don't have to use villies to repair buildings like in Age of Empires 2. But you can see, look, I repelled that back, and now I'm feeling pretty confident. Now I'm feeling quite good about myself. We've done a great straight counter there. Very, very good. And I'm thinking, right, where's the barracks? He's done a classic sort of barracks rush here. So I spot the barracks. You can see I'm pop capped. This is a problem. Should be building houses. So he switches and goes crossbows. And crossbows do sort of actually, they don't really counter. It's kind of just a straight counter here. Not a straight counter, sorry. It's just an even matchup between the two. So what he needs to get is cavalry out. That's what he needs. Yep. So I'm just taking out Villy there. And then I decide to go for it. The siege attack is only 12. There you go. And I start to put some houses down here, you can see, to wall myself in a bit, just in case it does happen. If I'm not successful here. You can see I've collecting food at a good rate. I've got 13 on food, 7 on gold. I'm keeping 7 on wood. That's not changing. You can see that right there. And I'm just going to lock back on so you can see my view here. Yeah. So it's a good thing I went Gurkhas and not Sepoys. If I went Sepoys, I would have lost this game, I think. Because he came at me with at least like maybe 10 to 15 probably 15 musketeers he came with me. If I only had 10 Sepoys, I don't think I would have been able to beat him. Maybe, potentially the town centre could have helped me out and maybe repelled it back, but it would have made my life a lot more difficult. So you could say there's a bit of luck here, because I decided to go Gurkha, not based on a lot of knowledge, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm quite lucky here. And I use a card to use the home city card there to get some camels out, because I decided, you know what, I'm going to raid his base, so let's quickly get 4 camels. And that's exactly what I do. So we were nearly successful there. We don't want to overstep and overextend. That's something that I've still got to get used to, is try not to overextend. When I've won the battle, don't try and push forward too much, because, you know, you can get stuck in sort of like a compromising position and then you can lose. So he's pushing out with quite a lot here. So I'm still getting a little bit nervous here. Will I be able to take this out? So this is kind of a good situation. So I'll come off the lock here. Here we go. So they're doing 16, I'm doing 16, so exactly the same damage. So it's an even fight, but he does have more. What's their health though? 100, I've got 115, so... What's this say here? Does that say light? That little armor there? I don't know what that means. I think it means light armor. I still don't know all the statistics here. I don't know some of these. I don't know what that means. The little boot there. Okay, so I bring my camels in to try and help out, because the camels should do... Oh, they just do like a... Yeah, they do 2 times damage to infantry, which they are. So you can see they're doing lots of damage, but he has got a lot of crossbows, so I am going to lose the camels. But we've got the Gurkhas to back up, which is what's going on here, so that's going quite well. And I get another set of Gurkhas out. And this is where the economy starts to get out of hand. Like it really goes very boomy. Like I get a lot of resources coming in. Yes, my gold's low, but look at my food. Like my food's stabilizing there. I could get into the 3rd age quite easily here. Yeah, let's go back to the locked view here. Let's have a look what I'm doing. See, look, so I don't know why he came out with pikemen. Probably, maybe he trained them to deal with the camels and then forgot to cancel it. But pikemen were not the option there. They're gonna die. And you can see I'm not even bothered. I'm focusing on on the villies here. And also you can see I've got the medium trickle of wood now coming in. So that adds another 2.35 to the wood trickle rate, and it gives me an extra villager as well, which is nice. Really working on that economy. That's what India's about. I do love civs that are like quite boomy, you know, that are quite good with their economy. So that's why I like China as well. I like China because of that. You can really do well with the banner armies and stuff like that with China. So if you haven't checked that video out, please go check that out. There we go. So I'm feeling pretty good now. Feeling pretty good about myself. We've repelled this back. See, now it's starting to spiral out of control. Like I'm able to keep recruiting units because my resources are looking really good. Looking very, very healthy. My villagers have finished mining that, so I'm going to move them over to another mining area. And the enemy right now is probably thinking, you know, what the hell do I do now? He shut my rush down. This is the thing with people that go really, they invest heavily into a rushing strategy. If you can push back that rush, you've pretty much secured the game. As long as you just keep up with your economy, you keep up with your macro. I mean, as I say, I'd played StarCraft quite a bit for a good amount of time, so I'm quite experienced with people rushing and stuff like that. And if you put a good defense up and you win that defense and you go on the counter offensive, you've pretty much secured yourself the game. So just bear that in mind. It's just learning how to deal with a rush. And sometimes you can't do anything. That's just how it is. Sometimes you had a bad start, your timings are off, you're a bit behind, and they're just doing really well, and there's nothing you can do. And it can be a long slog. But look at this, I've got 38 units now. I'm thinking to myself, what's he got? What's he got? I've got 38 units. Moving towards his base. I'm putting down, I'm getting into the next age now as well. So I'm using this as I'm sort of using it as a springboard to get into the next stage. He's very, very behind. I'm going to put pressure on his main, on his town centre here. Moving in. And he's pretty much got nothing here. So if we just take the view lock off. And let's actually have a look in Colin Massey's sort of field of view. I don't know what he's doing. Oh yeah, this is what he does. This is what he does. See? He does this. He moves a bunch of villagers over to here. This is what's happening right now. So all of these Gurkhas just clearing up all of his villagers. So these are the enhanced villagers that I mentioned. The Courier de Bois. Yeah, this is pretty much GG here. And that's it. That's game. I'm probably not going to go through the rest of this replay because what I've noticed, I don't know whether it's just lower level players, but I mean, I'm lower leveled as well, but you know, I think there's this etiquette where if you know you've lost, just throw the GGs down and just resign. But people just don't seem to do that. When you've beaten them, or when they get salty, or they think they're going to beat you, but you beat them, they just make your life difficult and just don't resign. So they waste your time, and they're also wasting their own time. And I don't get that. So please, like, drop me a comment down below if you've been experiencing this with players. Just they'll go ahead and build a town centre on the other side of the map, you know, and try and build like a ninja base or something, you know. But they know deep down that they're not going to win. They're just wasting your time because they're just upset that they lost. And that's exactly what happened here. I was kind of annoyed because I was waiting for the resign, the GG, and he didn't. So the next 5 minutes or however long is just spent exploring the map and then just taking down the final villagers. So let's go back on view lock. I am going to speed it up here quite a bit, and we will go back to that. Oh wow, look, hang on a minute, look at his view. He's not even moving. So he's probably just left. He's probably just stepped out of his room. He's just left his computer on. And he's just thought, yeah, I've lost. I can't be asked. I mean, it's just like, just resign. Why have you got to be like that? I don't know. It's just one of my annoyances. But look at his resources. What's he doing? Look at that. 5,000. 2,700. That's insane. But anyway, this is GG. This is basically it. This is the end of the game. Let me just quickly go back. Can I go back? Oh, I can't. If I pause, I actually can't go back. That's a shame. Yeah, but there it is, guys. Let's just fast forward it, and then we'll. Can we look at the post game? Can't look at the post game, not yet. So there you go, 24,000 points to 11,000. You can clearly see that he's got loads of unspent material. Basically, it was a really quick rush, and he was pretty effective, to be honest. I mean, he came at me with 15 musketeers. He did definitely throw me off guard, but unfortunately for him, I had the perfect troops to be able to counter it and then take down his barracks and then so on and so forth. So that's pretty much it. That's going to wrap this quick video up. Hope you guys really, really enjoyed that replay of one of the games as I was playing as India. There will be a video coming out in the near future of me playing live, trying out India. So I've only played a few games on the 1v1 ranked ladder with them. So as I say, if there's anything down below that you notice in this replay that I could have done better or that he could have done better, drop it down in the comments below. Show your support for the video. Drop a like. You can catch me streaming occasionally on Twitch at Widgie1. I don't have a schedule on there, but you know, when I'm on, you will know if you drop a follow. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.